Day one of Comic-Con was over, and I was pretty hungry after geeking out for 9 hours straight. But where can you grab some food? You can head to Kansas City BBQ, a semi-famous restaurant in San Diego, where they filmed a scene from Top Gun. You know it's a classy joint when not only do they have bras swinging from the fan, but in the bathroom they offer pocket sex books and extenders. Even after one day at Comic-Con, you feel like you want to die. Look at the size of this place, it's huge. You walk around all day, your feet are killing you, your back aches. They even have massage booths here so people can relax. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm not exhausted enough. Here's some of my blood. I've seen comics, I've seen lots of toys. What's left to see? So, what better way to spend your second day at Comic-Con after you've walked around for hours and hours, but to stand in a massive line?
This shit better be worth it.
Yeah, I figured I wanted to see the Warner Brothers panel. You had Harry Potter coming out, you have Green Lantern, but this line is pretty damn ridiculous. It goes out to the frickin' bay. You can barely see Comic-Con from here, it's so far out. But hey, there's only about, I don't know, 7,000 people online in front of me. I should be able to get in to see this, right? Right? Oh well, it's not like I waited an hour and a half and didn't get in. Oh wait, I did. Let's move on to an activity where I actually get to be involved. How about we look at some games? Yay! Let's start at the Capcom booth. First, I checked out Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, the sequel to the remake of the NES classic. The controls were solid and faithful to the original game, and I quite enjoyed playing it. Coming to the Wii and the PS3 is Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes, a fun-looking game set in feudal Japan that sort of reminded me of Dynasty Warriors. Of course, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was being shown off, but you had to wait about an hour to play for only 5 minutes. It wasn't worth it to me. Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition is coming soon to the PS3, and it's the same game as the original, except that you'll be able to use the PlayStation Move when it comes out to aim. But more on that in a bit. If that little tidbit didn't quench your thirst for zombie carnage, then take a look at Dead Rising 2. I'm not overly familiar with the franchise, but I do know that it's an over-the-top zombie kill fest. And they're upping the ante here, with more weapons, customizable characters, and a moped o' death that you can strap various death devices to. Blood, gore, yes! There wasn't any juicy info regarding Mega Man Universe. They were just showing off the same teaser video. But they did have these cool clay models that I assume were used in the making of it. So that was pretty disappointing. But I did pick up this sweet foam Mega Buster. Pew! 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 The most perplexing part of Capcom's booth were their mobile games coming out for the iPod Touch and the iPhone. 1942 First Strike was sort of okay, although your finger moving your plane would often cover the screen and make it hard to play. But when I saw Street Fighter 4, I was flabbergasted, in both a good and bad way. The graphics on this were amazing. They rivaled the real game on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. But play control-wise, it was atrocious. I'm sorry, but you need a real joystick or control pad to play a fighting game, which requires precise, very fine-tuned movements. A touchpad just does not work. In recognition of this, Capcom threw in a special move button because they realized it'd be impossible to pull off a lot of these moves on a touchpad. And I can't imagine trying to play Ghosts and Goblins on this. People are going to be throwing their iPhones out the window in frustration. I decided it was time to take a break from video games for a while and check out another panel. This one of the great author Ray Bradbury. Ray's written some of the greatest sci-fi and fantasy novels of the 20th century, including Fahrenheit 451 and The Martian Chronicles. Ray was great. He was talking about how we should get back to space exploration, get to Mars. He was getting political for a bit, saying we have to get rid of big government. And he even recapped a story about how he banged Bo Derek, one of the hottest women of the 70s.
Mr. Bradbury? I said, yes. She said, I love you. I said, who are you? She said, my name is Bo Derek. She said, Mr. Bradbury, will you travel on the train with me? I said, yep.
He's a chick magnet. What other author has videos like this made for him? After the coolness that was Ray Bradbury, I decided to check out the Microsoft booth. I checked out Battle Block Theater, which is a cutesy platform Smash Brothers type game. It looked pretty fun. You can beat on your opponent or kill them with bombs or other devices. And isn't it great just kicking the crap out of little kids? Here's Castle Crashers, the fun beat 'em up we all know and love, and footage from the next game in the Halo franchise. It's a first-person shooter, you're in a green suit. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. This wasn't the only first-person shooter I saw. There was tons of others, and they're all different. Here's Killzone 3, where you shoot guys in the face. Gears of War 3, where you shoot orcs in the face. XCOM, where you shoot aliens in the face. And Red Faction Armageddon. Kidding aside, this is a game I'm actually looking forward to. I was a big fan of the original game. Or maybe I'm just saying that because they had this cool as hell suit of armor on display. This is Comic-Con after all, so there were a bunch of comic book based games being shown off. DC Universe Online is an upcoming massive multiplayer online role-playing game. In it, you can create your own villain or hero, and fight against and alongside other heroes and villains. It's a game for those that thought World of Warcraft wasn't just nerdy enough, so you had to add comic books into the mix. Hey, there's that girl from the Peanuts panel again. A little more interesting to me was the DC game coming out on the Wii. Here's a level that's similar to a Smash Brothers type fighter. The controls were responsive, and I really like the cartoon-style graphics. And how cool is it that you can use the Green Lantern to drop a piano on someone? The Marvel Universe has a couple of new games coming out as well. There's a Thor game in development based upon the upcoming movie. Hopefully it doesn't suck like the Iron Man games do. And Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, a game where you can play in 4 different realities as 4 different Spider-Mans. Spider-Man? What? There's Classic Spidey, Spider-Man 2099, Ultimate Spider-Man in the black suit, and a new creation, Noir Spider-Man, which is set somewhere in the 1930s. Every game environment looks unique, and every Spider-Man character plays differently. I just wish they had also included Caveman Spidey and Renaissance Painter Spidey. What about those comic book games that are not DC or Marvel? Pat here, I'm speaking with Desdemona about City of Heroes Going Rogue, like the name matters. How are you, Desdemona?
I'm wonderful and evil, both at the same time. How are you?
I'm doing great. Desdemona, what are your evil superpowers?
I can summon fire from my fingertips.
Can you also summon at will any geek here that wants to talk to you like me?
Yes, and I pick you.
Aw, she's so kind. Tell me a little bit about this game. How is this different than the original City of Heroes?
Well, it's called Going Rogue because it's about heroes going bad and villains going good. So, you know, shades of gray in between. Not everything's so black and white.
Yeah, you know, is there any sort of power, like maybe helping my hair get better than this? Or can I do something like that in the game, maybe choose any sort of power like that?
I think it looks pretty good.
Pretty good?
But you can make your own character.
You can? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Any hairstyle you like except mine.
Except yours?
Signature.
It's a signature, the straight hair look?
Yes.
Okay. So, Going Rogue, do you have the ability to choose either a villain this time or a hero?
Yes, or somewhere in between, like maybe a hero that makes some poor choices sometimes.
Did you think you made a poor choice talking to me?
To you?
Yes.
Not at all.
Oh. Well, thank you, Desdemona. You've been very kind. You're very pretty. I'm sweating here talking to you. The game is City of Heroes, thank you. Going Rogue. It doesn't matter. No one's going to remember the name. That guy loves you too. This is Pat signing off. No, focus here. Here. Okay. Bye. This babe looks slightly familiar, but I can't really put my finger on it. To cool off, I decided to go watch the Rift Tracks panel. These are the guys that used to do Mystery Science Theater 3000. Let's see. Do you think I was able to get in? I've been standing in this line for an hour and a half to get into this Rift Tracks panel. and I can't even get in the goddamn thing. The worst part, I gotta sit next to some idiot the whole time. This guy.
Well, get us.